if somebody has to build a component that needs to go in the overall unit, and if the tool to make that component is not there, they will figure out a way to build that tool itself, right? In the factory. It goes down to
Yes.
that extent.
Especially in the golden age of Johnny Ive, is that they would come up with something, right? And the PD team or the MD team would look at it and be like, I have no experience knowing how to build that, right? So I hope I
Yeah.
can swear on your podcast, but what I was
Yes,
told
you
was like
can.
the ideal thing you could say to ID is, I have no fucking idea how to do what you're asking me, but give me some time. I'm going to go figure it out.
Yeah.
That was the ideal temperament you could have it up.
And I'm imagining that there would be fights, and we all talk about this teamwork and innovation and collaboration. There is a company which here in this case has illustrated that for over decades. How would they set aside their differences, and at what point would Johnny Ive in this case probably was the king in that hierarchy in terms of his disposition or dealing with people, and how was he as a person who was leading the charge while Steve Jobs would make those presentations, but he was the man behind it all, right? So how would he handle these things?
If Johnny Ive had come up with something that literally couldn't be done, you would have to come back to him with reams of experimentation, like mathematical proof, right? So Steve Jobs is effectively told at this meeting, like, look, sorry, we've been trying for weeks, we've been trying for months, we've lost some of our best people through attrition trying to get this done, but it cannot be done. And so Steve Jobs, fairly new to the company at this point, right? This is his second coming period, in a sense, doesn't know if the PD team is unable to execute because of their incompetence or because they really have been handed something that isn't possible. So he goes to his favorite design consultancy at the time called Acorn. And Acorn had worked on the Next Cube computer, right? This magnesium cube that Steve Jobs and team had designed at Next Computer. So he really respected sort of the engineering and the plastic injection molding prowess of these two guys, and he knew them personally. So all these Apple PD guys show up at this Acorn design consultancy, and they unroll blueprints onto the table, and they go through the design for hours. And those two guys basically determine, you don't have a quality product. Like, this can't be built. So they side with the PD team, and Johnny Ive and team, again, new to the story, have to go basically redesign how things are going to be done. There's so much about Johnny Ive where, you know, you have this image of him when he's 13 years old, and here he is really liking minimalist designs or something, right? And it's just like, sorry, Johnny Ive's like everybody else. He made mistakes. He got to where he was through hard work, through making mistakes. Through improvement, right? And so our image of Johnny is just that, like, he's just this perfect, like, deity of design from the get-go. And come on, that's just nonsense. That weren't possible. And he had to make more of an effort to go to Asia, go to Japan, work with suppliers, and understand the materials, the processes, the machinery in a way that he had never had to do before.